Let's have a holly jolly Christmas. In the upside down? What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another Stranger Things update, and man, does it feel good to say that. We've got some news today. Some speculation about what time of year Stranger Things Season 5 could be taking place. And if my sweater didn't give it away already, it might just be a Christmas-themed season. But before I get into this news, be sure to hit that like button. It helps out more than you guys know. Comment down below your thoughts on this news that I'm about to talk about. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. So close to making that final push as we approach the end of the year. And of course, go show some love to the usual couple podcasts for weekly episodes over there, from Stranger Things to Marvel and more. It's a blast. Alright, so we've got what seems like a set picture from inside Hawkins High School, which is actually in Georgia, the state I live in. I've actually been there, so I'll put the link up above to our vlogs. There were 2 vlogs where we went to filming locations and went into the school in one of them, so you don't want to miss that if you haven't checked that out. But this picture is from Stranger Things Spoilers, which is a huge Stranger Things Twitter account. So it's a bulletin board, and it seems like it's in the hallway of Hawkins High School. It's from the Hawkins High School Student Council. It's an annual holiday food drive, and it says, "We know times are tough for all of Hawkins, but anything you can spare will be much appreciated." We see this Christmas tree and then cans signifying, donate to the food drive. Now, when I heard about this news, my buddy actually texted me, and so I immediately called him and we talked about it. And before I actually saw this visual, he just said Stranger Things 5 news might take place during Christmas. We talked about it, and I'm gonna shout him out right now. Shout out Starcourt Food Court. If you guys haven't already, go follow him on Twitter. Actually, Jacob got me this Stranger Things Christmas sweater. This thing is dope. Shout out Jacob and Cameron, of course. They run Starcourt Food Court. Go show some love. I'll link them down below. But we got to talking. I hadn't seen the whole spiel about tough times. All I heard was there's a Christmas banner in Hawkins High School. My mind immediately went to, what if they're setting up for a flashback to Season 1? As we all know, the cold open of Season 5 is going to involve Will Byers and likely be his POV in the Upside Down, and we'll see that play out how it does. But my mind went to, what if they were setting up some flashback shots, because we know Season 1 takes place in November of 1983, which is holiday season, essentially. That's a month before Christmas. It would make sense that they're starting to gear up for some Christmas decorations during that time period. Now, after reading what this bulletin board actually says, I was like, okay, I can scratch that theory. And then I realized this is 100% referring to Season 5 likely, because we saw at the end of Season 4, obviously, the gang and everybody at the Hawkins gym making sandwiches, making food for everybody, because Hawkins was pretty much in shambles at the end of Season 4. And they were doing all of this before we even saw the ash start to fall from the sky and got that final shot of Season 4. So seeing this bulletin board and assuming that this final season takes place around Christmas time, late November, early December, the only assumption we can make here is that we're getting a time jump in the final season of the show. This is something people have speculated for a while to kind of make up for the age gap. Now, I don't think this time jump's going to be big enough to really make up for that. We're just going to have to look past it and hope the makeup's good. I also am not bothered by that as much as other people, but that's a rant for another time in terms of the age of the actors to the characters they're playing, because Tobey Maguire and Michael J. Fox were like 30 playing 18, and it didn't bother me. However, if this is true and it does take place around Christmas time, at least some of the season, we're getting a time jump. Now, my hope is that The Crawl, which is Season 5, Episode 1, has a cold open of Will Byers in the Upside Down, then we roll that Stranger Things intro. And then we pick up immediately where we left off with the final shot of everyone on that hilltop in Season 4. We pick up right there, and then we have, 15, 20 minutes, or maybe the whole episode takes place there, and then it ends Avengers Endgame style with 9 months later, or however many months to jump us into December. Because I believe this ended in March of 1986, Season 4, and so to get to Christmas, it'd be about an 8 to 9 month jump, depending on if it takes place in late November or, of course, December, the month Christmas is actually in. Now, in Avengers Endgame, it obviously says 5 years later, but it would be really cool if they did something similar. It was like 9 months later. We get, a 20 to 25 minute opening, right at the immediate aftermath. Something happens and they realize, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to recover from this for a while. Boom, 9 months later. That's what I think they're gonna do, and this is kind of setting it up for that. I am honestly all on board with them having a bit of a time jump to sort of separate ourselves from the events of Season 4, but still give us some clarity with how things wrapped up with that final shot. I am a huge proponent of Season 5 opening right where we left off. I've been that way since we saw that final shot back in summer of 22. And so I'm cool with them having, again, the Will Byers cold open, his POV in the Upside Down, Stranger Things intro, and then we go about half the episode in where we left off in Season 4, and then we have a time jump and we resume into Christmas season. That gives us the best of both worlds. It ties up, some loose ends from Season 4, and then it shows something dramatic happen, and then it's like, okay, for the next few months, Hawkins is going to have to rebuild. We're going to have to build up a military presence. We're going to have, a food drive, all these things. Now, the biggest question I have, and the thing that baffles me the most, is how Hawkins is going to continue on as if everything's normal. Like, any state of normalcy in Hawkins is completely out the window at this point. I mean, they've been through the ringer, and at the end of season 4, it was split literally into 4 sections near the library. The Upside Down was rising up through the ground, and I'm not sure how they're just going about the school year with this bulletin board in Hawkins High School. It really doesn't make sense to me, and I have trust in the Duffer Brothers, obviously, to make it make sense, but you would think this is like a national threat, and school would be of least importance. The survival of everybody, maybe getting out of Hawkins, would be more important. At the end of the day, though, who knows? I'm curious to see how they're like, yeah, school's gonna continue. Maybe that is why there's a time jump. Say, you know, at the end of season 4, we have sort of a false victory, a lot like in Endgame, where we know Thanos is killed and there's a 5-year time jump. It could be something where, like, they think they get rid of the Upside Down time jump, and then the first episode ends with chaos and calamity ensuing. Had to throw a No Way Home reference in there, but something wild could happen at the end of episode 1 that sort of launches us right back into this battle versus Vecna and actually fully eradicating the Upside Down. Talking about this right now is getting me excited, and the wintry Christmas setting could just make this all the merrier. Like, a Christmas time season is something I never thought we would get. And it's cool because it's on brand for Stranger Things. Season 2 was Halloween, Season 3 was the 4th of July, Season 1 Thanksgiving, with the last few moments being Christmas. So to me, it's like, let's come full circle and end our show with Christmas, where we sort of began in the holiday season. It's full circle, and maybe the Duffer Brothers were being extremely literal when they said we're going back to the roots of the show with the character groupings and the vibes. As I talk through this, I just got hit with the revelation. What if we time jump to November 6th, 1986? 3 years, canonically, after Will Byers was taken. That is still gearing up for Christmas season. It's a little early for my personal taste, but it's still gearing up for Christmas season. It would make sense for them to have a food drive, you know, promoting a few weeks ahead as we approach Thanksgiving and Christmas. Could we see, you know, the season take place over multiple weeks and culminate with Christmas? Who's to say? But the fact that we're getting another holiday, it feels good. If I can watch this show in December every year, sign me up. Specifically season 5 is what I'm referring to. But this is a point I wanted to hit home on before I ended this video. If it is in fact taking place in Christmas, even if that's just an episode or 2 around Christmas time, right? Or it's a wintry setting, it takes place in late November, early December, I think it would make a ton of sense for this season to release late 2025. Obviously, they still have not started filming. We're about to start filming soon, and I promise you I'll have an update video soon. So I know you guys have been asking, but whenever we get a table read video, whenever it's officially started filming, I will make an update video. However, we are so close to them filming. It's not going to be done. They're not going to have all the post-production done by November, December of 2024, but they could have it done by late 2025, which aligns with, you know, the idea of them potentially releasing it on Stranger Things Day, November 6th, 2025. It would make sense, gearing up for Christmas, if there are some Christmassy vibes to this final season, that it would make sense to release real life that time period, because a lot of Christmas movies come out in November. Elf came out in November. The movie Arthur Christmas came out in November. Most of the holiday films we love come out in November because you don't want to release them in December when you'd have less of a gap to prepare for Christmas. Say a movie comes out middle of November, right? And word of mouth spreads. By the time it's December, people can still go see it, whereas if you release it, you know, right before Christmas, it's going to be January and the Christmas vibes will have already sailed past. So I dig it. I think all the stars are lining up for this to release Stranger Things Day 2025. It's got some Christmas vibes, so it makes sense during the time of the year, but also how full circle would it be for the show to release all episodes on the actual day that's become sort of a national celebration of the show that we all love. It's perfect. I am super down with a Christmassy season of Stranger Things. I don't want that to overshadow the fact that it has to conclude this show that we all know and love so much. But I do think there's a way where it can still have this Christmas backdrop and not overshadow the fact that it's the final season. Just give us little dashes of Christmas and I'll take it and run with it. Just like we do with Die Hard, we gotta embrace it for what it is, and we can maybe call Stranger Things a Christmas show. Who's to say? Stranger Things is honestly collecting major holidays like Infinity Stones. I mean, Halloween, 4th of July, had some Thanksgiving in there, sort of. Christmas, give us New Year's as well, I guess, and we can end with a bang. But as it stands right now, there's heavy speculation Stranger Things Season 5 will be taking place around Christmas time, so sign me up for that. But what do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. I'm trying to make that final push as we approach the end of the year, and be sure to go show some love to the Unusual Couple podcast. We have a ton of fun with it with weekly episodes over there. One final thing before I go, my birthday is approaching on November 29th, this Wednesday. I'm doing a big live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm giving away 4 digital codes for 2023 movies. Gonna be hanging out, answering your questions. Cam will be with me. It's gonna be be a ton of fun, so I would love it if you guys stop by and say hello, drop some questions. We can talk Stranger Things over there, you already know. So hope to see you guys there. Mark your calendars. 2 days from now. I can't wait. But thank you guys as always for watching, and until next time, see you guys on the other side of the upside down.